Okay, welcome back to our briefing. Okay, so this is paper. This is the continuation from the paper one. Okay, we are looking at paper two. Okay, this paper two is actually the one that many students or even teachers are afraid of. Okay, this is whereby the essay writing is being assessed. Okay, in paper two. Okay, but the good news is that okay, the 2021 SPM English 1119 paper 2 is more or less the same as the PT3 2019. Okay, only the difference is they add up one more question. Okay, so three parts. Okay, for this question, for this paper, we have three parts. Part one is the um, okay, uh, short uh, short essay. Okay, that is on email writing. Okay, and it is they have been given very specific. That means the question will be on email. All right, so you have to write an email to your friend and reply it to your friend. Okay, so um, this is a very limited response actually. Okay, whereby you can write about 80 words. When it says about, that means you should write um, around 80 words. You can add up, you can write more than 80 words, but not that too long. Okay, so look at the length of the uh, space given. Okay, so this is the space given, and no additional space. All right, so this is the space given here. Okay, so what can you say? Okay, how many words can you write? Okay, looking at this, I think you can write about 100 words. Okay, but no longer than that. Okay, why you cannot write longer than that? Because it will be a waste of time. Okay, so this the assessment of this um, uh, email writing will be very lenient, very lenient. Okay, because this is a limited response. Okay, so you have to make sure that you understand what you are supposed to answer. Okay, for this type of question, right? The score already is finding here. Let's go for picnic with our friends. Okay, the question is, where shall we go? Okay, where shall we go? What can we do? Okay, what can we do there? What should we bring? Okay, all right. So that is your job. Your job is to answer this question. Where should you go? Okay. Example, you say let's go to Teluk Batik. Okay. What can we do there? Right. Just give them picnic. Right. Okay. You can swimming by the sea. You can build up sandcastles. Okay. You can ride banana boat. Okay, or boat, right? Or do some maybe island hopping, right? Okay, so if you answer that, you are already answering the question. And what should we bring? Okay, so you answer, right? What should you bring? You should bring food. You should bring tent. You should bring what? Okay, swimming trunk. Okay, if you are able, if you have answered all those, that means you already fulfill the task given. Okay, once you have fulfilled the task given, you don't have to write more than that. Okay, all right, just right. This one is a very simple. We need you to come out with a simple answer. You don't have to go beating around the bush. Okay, talking this and that without answering the question. Straight away answer the question, and that means you have fulfilled your task. Okay, and this is 20 marks. Okay, still 20 marks. Uh, Same as part 2 and part 3. Okay, um, let's take a look at part 2. Okay, remember part 1 is simple. Okay, the keyword is simple. All right, fulfill your task. Okay, and we are not looking too much on the the length of the answer. Okay, of course, if you are able to use good language, you will get better marks, right? Okay, but basically, okay, simple answer, uh, without much grammatical errors, you can you can manage to get 20 out of 20. All right. Okay. So, um, from what has been given to us, actually, uh, this is more or less the same like PT3. The way we they mark the paper is more or less like PT3, whereby for question number one, it is very lenient. I said, okay. So that means um, simple errors, okay, means minor errors, okay, minor grammatical errors will not uh, stop us from giving you 20 full marks for your language. You're still able to get full marks for your language unless you do a lot of major errors. Then of course it will be punished lah. You will not get the full marks for the language, but um, basically you can get full marks for the language for this part. Okay, part 1. Okay, let's take a look at part 2. Okay, part 2 is a little bit longer. Okay, this is still what we call as limited or uh, restricted answer. Okay, you are restricted to only answer what is given to you. Okay, for this, for example, okay, here look at the question. Your class has been discussing how they spend their money, and your teacher has asked you to write an essay about what you would spend your money on. Okay, so in your essay you should write about what you would like to buy, reasons for your choice, okay, and where do you usually buy these things. All right, so for example, you say, I would like to buy well present for teachers. Okay, so that already answer the question. Why you Then you give reasons for your choice, why you choose them. Okay, and then where you can get them. Okay, when you have answered this will be, okay, enough. Okay, this will be enough to fulfill the task. Okay, but the difference here between question number 2 or part 2 and part 1 is the requirements for the language. Okay, so the language use, the ideas you have, okay, for this question, um, we will look at your ideas. Okay, your ideas, your reasons, right? And also language, of course. Okay, so this will be a little bit higher than the requirements to get 5 or 4 marks. Okay, will be a bit higher compared to question 1 or part 1. Okay, so right, later when we back to school, we will go into detail about this. All right. Okay, and lastly, okay, section also part 3. Okay, all right, so again, before I forgot, right, so the length of the answer should be 125 to 150 words. Okay, meaning that, okay, you can write more than 150, but not too long. Okay, means 160, 170 will be more than enough. Okay, 150 should be the limit. Okay, if you go higher, not too much, right? But you, if when it says 125, you cannot write lower than that. Okay, it should be around that. Okay, all right. So that is on question 2 or part 2 of your um, paper 2. Okay, all right. Last one is paper part 3. Okay, for part 3 is a bit different from part 1 and part 2, whereby part 1 and part 2 you have no choice. You have no choice. Okay, but part 3 you can choose. You will be given 3 choices out of 4 types of question. All right, so if I'm not mistaken, number 1 is article, number 2 is a report, number 3 is a review, and number 4 is story. Okay, story writing. Okay, so there, these are the 4 type of question that they will ask. Okay, but in SPM they will choose 3 out of 4. Okay, so you can choose which one that you prefer to write on. Okay, so okay, these 3 questions you have the uh, freedom to choose from. Okay, but still, okay, for this SPM, still you are guided. Okay, the question is guided. It's very much differ from the previous SPM, on which previous SPM section B, okay, they only give you title, and you are on your own to write whatever you like. Okay, based on the question. Okay, but for paper 2 SPM 2021, okay, the essay writing all are guided. Okay, all 3 questions are guided. So what I said by guided is that, okay, here, look here. What other types of food would you like to be served? What special facilities? They already give you questions to be answered. Okay, if you are able to answer this question, that you have means you have fulfilled your task. Okay, so this is a very helpful for you. Okay, so you don't have to think too much. Okay, to write on the um, to write the essay. Okay, they already give you that. Okay, all right, but okay, this is the highest level of the question. Okay, for paper 2. All right, and the number of words is about 200 to 250 words. Okay, much different from the previous SPM, whereby in the previous SPM, okay, uh, the part whereby we call it we know it as continuous writing, you have to write minimum 350 words. Okay, but here you are you are allowed to write about 200 to 250 words. Okay, so basically I would say that you are very lucky to have this type of question. But of course, the requirement, okay, the way they look um, at your answer will be higher lah. Okay, this part. Okay, so to obtain 5 marks for language, it's not that easy lah. Okay, for this part. Okay, but still, basically, I could say that it is something that you can manage to get. Okay, full marks for this part. Okay, we will go into this later. The detail. Okay, how you should answer. Okay, because okay, we have we have been given um, how the question, the essay will be marked, right? And okay, so perhaps this will give you a clearer picture of paper 2. Okay, so paper 2 means it's no longer what they call as the killer paper, all right? So no more, all right? This is also a part where you can score, okay? Where you can score, okay? So I hope that, okay, you are clear, all right? You are clear with the explanation. Okay. So, all right. This is okay. Before we end up, okay. This is the example. Okay. A dream comes true. Your story should include a description of the dream, how the dream is achieved. Okay. So when it comes to story writing, actually, they don't restrict too much because this is based on your creativity, how creative you are when you are writing a story. But of course, writing a story with the length of 200 to 250 words is actually quite difficult, you know. Okay, because you cannot go you cannot go into too much detail. Okay, because the length of required is quite short lah, actually. We call it for essay 200 to 250 is quite short actually. Okay, but basically, okay, I could say that, okay, for this SPM 2021, okay, essay is no longer something that you call as a nightmare. Okay, it can be a good dreams as well. Okay, so before we okay, we end up the explanation on paper 2. Okay, I hope that you will be have a clear picture that essay writing is not that difficult anymore for this SPM 2021. All right. Okay, so I'll stop now. Okay. So um, for paper 2, paper 3, okay, I will uh, meet you all in the next video, okay, in another video, right? So thank you very much. Okay, so that's it, okay, for paper 2, right? See you later. Okay, thank you.